few weeks ago, we reported on Janja Garnbret climbing the Big 5 in Font in a day on her first trip to Font. Now, we made a big deal of this back at the time, but it transpires that that was just a warm-up. In fact, it wasn't even warm-up, it was child's play, as Janja has just made the first female ascent Bügeleisen Sit start in the Maltatal, Austria, becoming the 7th woman to climb Font 8C. Now that in and of itself is news, but perhaps the craziest thing of all is that she did it and got recorded, but wasn't happy with that initial footage, so she did it again. And not only did she do it again, but she did it making it look easy, really easy. And it's 8C. So the first ascent of Bügeleisen via its stand start was from Klemlosgod back in 2001. And at the time there was only one other Font 8C in the world, and that was Dreamtime, which was considered to be harder. Now Janja climbed Bügeleisen from its stand start back in 2022, and in doing so, that became her first Font 8B+. Now the sit start received its first ascent courtesy of Nalle Hukkataival in 2014, and since then it has only received 6 ascents, and only one female ascent, Janja's. When Nalle made the first ascent, he described it as one of the best boulders in the world, and that he was at his total limit throughout. He also said it was potentially one of the hardest things he had climbed at the time, which in the year 2014 was 2 years away from climbing Burden of Dreams, his Font 9A, and the first Font 9A in the world. In contrast, Janja seems to have done it with ease, and not just once, but twice, almost with it becoming a party piece. Janja had this to say about the ascent on Instagram. Dream boulder done. 2 years have passed since I sent the stand start of the boulder and was just waiting for the right time to come back and get my revenge on the sit start. Today was the day. Came back way stronger and the moves felt a lot easier than they used to. Took me less than half an hour to get the moves dialed in and send the boulder. Proud to be the first woman to get this one done. The first woman to climb Font 8C was Ashima Shiraishi when she climbed Horizon in 2016. Within the last 12 months there's been a flurry of ascents. Jana Spakova climbed Nova, which has recently been upgraded from 8B plus to 8C, courtesy of the fact that it took Will Bosey, one of the world's leading boulderers, quite a long time to do it. And then there's also Katie Lamb and Brooke Rabitu's ascent of Box Therapy, which was initially graded at 8C+, but has subsequently been downgraded to Font 8C. Now we often refer to Janja as the GOAT, the greatest of all time, but the irony when mentioning some of those names that we've just run through in reference to real rock outside, Janja's actually relatively inexperienced. She's a competition climbing specialist, and at least in comparison, hasn't done anywhere near as much outdoors. Having said that, she's probably done more than most of us ever will within our lifetime, and it does feel like things have been ramping up of late, especially considering she must be on a strict Olympic training plan right now, ready for the Olympic Games in Paris in August. But the fact that she's managed to get done those big 5 in a day, Bügeleisen Sit, so quickly, what's she going to do when the Olympics are done? So from anyone watching those videos, I think it is fair to say that Janja has Font 8C+ in her. Nobody can do Font 8C that quickly and do it again and claim they're at their limit. Janja has bagfuls of potential, and I don't think it's going to stop at Font 8C. And I'm not completely convinced it's going to stop at Font 8C+ either, or even Paris 2024. On the note of Paris, Janja goes in as the firm favourite within that lead and boulder category, and it's hard to see anyone challenging her given how dominant she has been. It will be interesting to see if Janja continues this rampage of outdoor problems, or if we don't hear a peep from her until the Olympics, as she gets into a dedicated training block indoors. We'll be covering the Olympics throughout every day of the event, so watch this space for more.